AF. Sorry I couldn't make it in for the actual presentation and stuff. Haven't gone in for surgery yet, but I'm a little bit medicated at the moment. They gave me some strong pain care meds, so I'm a little bit slow. So just bear with me, but I'll go. So my speech is on why was Marquis de Sade modern. Marquis de Sade was born on 2nd of June 1740. He was named Donatien Alphonse Francois, but he was also known as Marquis de Sade. He was a famous French nobleman, writer, philosopher, and also political revolutionary. Sade is best known for his erotic works, which combine political and philosophical discourse with pornography. His works depicted his sexual fantasies, which had an emphasis on violence, most especially against young women and children. De Sade claimed he was a proponent of absolute freedom, meaning that he was above the law, unrestrained by morality and religion and the government and their laws as well. This caused many other nobles around the time to be very upset with him, because he was just an absolute terrible human being and he would just constantly harass people. This is also why modern day experts consider his works and also people following his ideas to be rather controversial. But it is also why people consider him to be a proponent of modernity of his time, and also why he had such a big impact on us was because of how different he was from everyone else. During this time, the rule and law of the church was considered absolute, and de Sade tried to get others to follow along suit with him to deny their authority. This led to many great kind of advances in our culture, I believe, because of how others would deny the church. When the church would say, this is what happened, this is the law, they would rebut against and try and find other ways to go about things. Like, there'd be no scientific advances if we all just listened to the doctrine of the church. Despite the influences that he betrayed, though, de Sade is considered to be quite vile and unstable, inflicted much pain and torture on others. The words sadism, sadist, and sadistic are derived from his name. And for his many questionable actions, he was imprisoned in various institutes and prisons for about 32 years of his life. Which is a long time. Sade is considered to have lived a rather scandalous life. He would repeatedly hire young prostitutes of both genders, as well as accost different servants. So he would assault them, sexually assault his servants, whether they were male or female. Sometimes the young ones as well. Servants would bring their children in, and he would try and assault them. And he also had a lot of affairs with other noblemen's wives, one of which was his wife's sister as well, which was quite scandalous at the time. These would be but a few of the many incidents that de Sade would be accused of. He was truly a troubled dude. Committed numerous acts of rape, and he tortured people and caused so much suffering. One of his quotes was, "Lust passions will be served. It demands, it militates, and it tyrannizes," which was kind of like his way of saying that he just let his desires take over and do whatever he wanted, what his impulses were. He had no control. But littered within the chaos of Marquis de Sade's life is various philosophical and political works which can be considered modern for its time. De Sade questioned the very social structure around him. He rejected the laws of the government, and he did what he pleased. His freedom, in his mind, was absolute. De Sade also denied the church, which at the time was a very big deal because the church was considered absolute as well, and to not believe in the church was to go against God, and to go against God was to go against the country and to go against man himself. And for this, he was accused of blasphemy, which was considered an extreme offence. And in some cases, especially if it was a woman, they would be killed outright. But because he was a nobleman, he wasn't killed, he was just imprisoned and institutionalised. And so for his works and his various publishings throughout prison, which went under various different pseudonyms and stuff, he changed his name around, tried to hide his identity. He was arrested, and then eventually he died in 1814. And at the time of his death, he was also in a relationship with a 14-year-old girl. So right up until the end, he was truly disgusting human being. And then when he died, his son burnt all of his unpublished manuscripts. So when Marquis de Sade died, he said, "Don't burn everything, I want everything to be published." But his son was like, "No, that's all disgusting," and burnt it all. In one of the works of de Sade, Le Philosophie dans le Boudoir, or Philosophy in the Bedroom, proposed the use of abortion for various social reasons and also population control. This was the first time that the subject of abortion had been discussed openly in public ever, and it was considered to be kind of the influence behind the medical and social acceptance of the procedure that we see today. Various people of different fields of interest have all expressed interest and claimed influence from Sade's works. Philosophers, filmmakers, actors, poets, authors, and even some serial killers have claimed influence from his works. Even the mental condition, sexual sadism disorder, is named after Sade, Marquis de Sade. Sade. This condition is defined as experienced sexual arousal in response to extreme pain, suffering, or humiliation done non-consensually to others. So rape would be one. There are many references to the influence of Marquis de Sade in popular culture today. His influence is used to evoke a sense of the erotic, the immoral, the power and freedom. I learned about him in acting class. In today's culture, his works considered a masterful analysis of how power and economics of nobility worked back then. Sade himself is considered to be an example of the exposure, or like that medium of the exposure for the powerful and corrupt. And even to this day, interest in Sade is continued among scholars and artists alike. Coined the Divine Marquis. Marquis de Sade's works is said to have paved path for the very lucrative business of modern-day pornography, as well as a host of other artworks and films and different kind of plays and actings all take kind of influence from his works. He's considered a very kind of influential figure on today's works. And that's all I've got. Thanks, F.